Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Ladies Listen Up. And man, do we have a topic for you today? Mr. Sherrard, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
Well, all right. How about a quick game of volleyball? Because we're gonna
Okay.
volley the ball over the net. Look, I'm good now. Well, how about on a beach or sand? I don't even have to say court. I don't have to say none of that today. We're
All
gonna
right. Here
volley
we
the
go.
ball in your court. Alrighty, it's in your course, sir. Wait, I forgot. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else, and you really gonna want to share today's topic. We're talking about the hilarious things that people say about dating. And actually, Mr. Sherrod, we think that it's hilarious, but some folks really live by some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. They live by it. You know. Let me see. Where should we start? Which one should we start with? Uh, let's start with the finessing one. You
Oh,
know,
right.
let's start with finessing because a lot of young women live by this. They you know, we're going to give the definition of it so that us old people that's out here listening to this would know what this means exactly. So finesse is a slang word that it refers to persuading or manipulating someone. The term comes from the charisma required to convince people to do things for you. Finessing is often done when getting a person to do something that he normally would not want to do. So isn't that kind of like a narcissistic behavior or something like that, you know?
I'm telling you, we're going to do that narcissist one. I mean, that's a good hot topic, and I haven't seen anybody talk about it when it comes to dating, because it's important that we know the signs of a narcissist when we're in the dating arena. And I think that finessing is definitely,
it's one of manipulation. I mean, that would be considered one. I mean, and then what happens is a lot of I hear and have heard of a lot of young women talking about finessing, especially when they like get a man to take them out to eat, you know, expensive meals and this and that and the other, and then dude might be expecting like a hug or kiss or something, and he gets Nathan for his meal.
Hold on, let me go. You know where I'm gonna go with this, because you know I'm going back to our 5 C's. We talk about them because it's the truth. Proper communication, because I'm telling you, if you don't learn how to properly communicate, you're gonna run into that. The ladies will run into that often, because if you haven't had a conversation up front to where you are, where you stand, then you know what? Oftentimes that is the expectation, even if you haven't talked about it. At the end of the meal or whatever, I once was told it's time to do something, and it's time to boogie woogie or get down or something like that. And this was the first date, and I was like, okay, I'm way out of touch, because I mean that was just the total expectation. So
For some men it is. I mean, but at least if you're gonna go out on a date, everybody should understand what the expectations are after the date. You know, for myself, if I say, hey, let's go out on a date, let's go eat, I'm just meaning that we're going to eat, you know, because I don't think a meal constitutes me sleeping with you. You know what I mean?
I am so serious, Sherrod. This is the
wow.
I mean, and it's not like it hasn't just happened one time. So I know that I'm open. So I have clear communication, and I think I said clear expectations, but people still hear what they want to hear.
And that's true.
They don't always really, and the thing of it is too, I think, in this whole dating game or whatever you want to call it, because people are not, and it ties into the finessing part, because people aren't being who they authentically are. Everybody thinks, or not everybody, let me change that. Some people think that it's a masquerade dance that you're playing. So they think that you're playing this masquerade, tug of war kind of game or whatever. So when you actually are being yourself authentically, they don't believe you.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a dance. We're doing this dance. We're pulling, it's a tug of war, it's a dance. We're trying to see who can get what from the other without sacrificing too much of what we want. And it's like, wow, so we started out bad from the get-go, because we're both in this thing, we're both trying to manipulate one another instead of reciprocate each other's goodness to one another, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, so if we both go into the, just say we both go into the meal, just expecting to eat, laugh, and have a good time. We don't know what's going to happen from there because we're having a good time. We're laughing, we're joking. Hey, it might be a walk at a park afterwards. You know, if you don't go with the intentions of expecting something, you know, out of it, other than, hey, we might have a good time, you know, and that way you're not disappointed if that if you don't get what you want afterwards, you know. So brothers, if you're paying $100 a plate and you're expecting for her to afterwards say, okay, I'm opening up, come and get it, you know, and she doesn't do it, you know, that's on you. You know, just stop living outside your means, stop doing things you normally wouldn't do. You know, because if paying $100 a meal is not something that you're accustomed to or do on a regular basis, don't do it. Mm-hmm. You know, if the goal and the object is to get to know this person, take her someplace where you can actually get to know her. Take her to a park, you know, walk up the nature trail, you know, some places, you know, do something where y'all can actually get to know one another and have a full conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in that frame, it was funny because there was a scene in Deliver Us from Evil when, you know, she, you know, had set her boundaries, and it was the main character, Gabrielle Union, played the part. And it was funny after they had the dance and everything, and they, you know, he kind of rescued her from this bad scene with her ex-boyfriend, you know, and afterwards she was so turned on. And I think that's one of the parts that men or women, I don't know about the women part of it, but I'll say with men, they miss the part of like simple actions can be so much more of a turn on than an expectation. Because I paid for something, this is what's happening. Because that is actually, you know, I mean, women being nurturers, and I'm not speaking for all women, but just in general, women are nurturers. So you nurture the mind of that person. I mean, that's one of the biggest turn ons, you know, and I think that's one of the things that's missed.
And you know what? And for guys out here, you know, there are some women out here that still love for you to open the door for them, walk on the other side of the road for them, take your jacket off and give it to them when they're cold. You know, you put the umbrella over them. You know, some women still want that. Not all women are thinking that if you do this, there's some hidden agenda, wicked, toxic, masculine, you know, agenda, you know, for the men to say, yes, we conquered all, you know, because we finessed her out of a kiss because I put an umbrella. You know, it's not always evil that men are trying to do. There's some men that are actually out here that are good dudes, you know, and hey, it's not that I'm expecting something on the first night. It's not, hell, it back in the day, it was like, if you just got a hug from the date, you thought you did something, right? It was like, oh man, she hugged me. I mean, it wasn't no church hug either. You know, it was a body-to-body hug. So I know it's a second date because I got the body-to-body hug. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no kiss. It wasn't none of that. But I got the body-to-body. We touched or we held hands while we walked. Oh man, I know it's gonna be a second date. Right. In this day and age, it's like all or nothing. It's either the draws or nothing. You know, it's like, yo man, if I don't get it on the first date, dog, I'm about to go out with the other chick I done met online, you know, blackplanetpeople.com or Christian Mingle or something.
It's so crazy because people have all these expectations or whatever, and they have no idea who they're meeting. I mean, again, when we get into, and when we really dive into the narcissist, because we started really, you know, I started like putting together information about it because I really wanted to know, because you're meeting people, and narcissists, when you meet them, they're charming. So if you don't take the time, they can only be that way for so long. So if you don't take that time out, and people are so instant now, they want everything instant on the plate right now. They're not even thinking about tomorrow when this person, you know, what is that, Friday or something, when the person took her head off and chewed feet, butt off, leg off.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Right. So you don't even know. You don't even know. And I'm like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? So, but if you take the time to get to know the person and, you know, spend some quality time with them, and people say that it's work. Well, yeah, it's work, but it's supposed to be, because if it's, easy, the easy thing is what everybody is doing. It's easy to take your clothes off and sleep with somebody. But to have a conversation and to connect on a deeper level, man, I think that's the part that people, they miss out on. And then we have all of this, high divorce rates and all of these negative results coming from it because we're not going back in the day and actually using what works.
And and to be totally honest with you, I know for a fact for a lot of women nowadays try to pretend as if I could just sleep with anybody without any feelings to it. And that's not, from my experience, that's not a woman's natural reaction to sleeping with somebody. I know with all the poisonous music that we have out now, all this poisonous music that we have feeding these young girls, sleep with this person, sleep. And the funny thing is, a lot of these entertainers have husbands or whatnot, or steady boyfriends. They're not really out here like they're telling your daughter, sleep with this man, sleep with that man, sleep with this, and we'll get upset if you label them as whores. Respect me, okay. But the thing is, that's not natural for a woman to just jump out here and sleep with everybody. I don't think it is anyway.
I don't think so either.
And then when they do get out here and sleep with Tom, Dick, Harry, Pookie, Ray, John, then all of a sudden, oh my God, I done did this. Now I'm mad because none of these guys are around, but it was you that slept with them. None of them took you serious.
Right.
And
right.
What a woman needs to realize is when she starts talking and she starts sounding like me in the locker room with the homies talking, we look at y'all differently. Mm-hmm. It's one thing with a woman speaking seductively to you, right? One-on-one and this and that and the other. But when women get out here and start opening their mouths and being more vulgar than we are, well, yeah, you might be attractive, but all you might be is a hit.
Ladies, listen up. Yeah, that's what this is about. Ladies, listen up. Hearing it from the male's perspective.
Because I know it's a massive turnoff to just hear a woman, being vulgar. I mean, it is. I mean, and I know, especially in this day and age, a woman is supposed to be able to say any and everything, whatever she wants, however she wants, and when she wants. But it's still a lot of guys out here that's just like, yo, can we get a woman?
Well, just because, Sherrod, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do it,
Right.
And so I just think that it goes back to, like you said, a lot of the cultural things that are going on that seem to be acceptable. It's like, I think going back to what we're talking about the dance, it should. I mean, if you think about just a smooth, go back to the Ginger Rogers and the Fred Astaire, how the masculine and the feminine energy when you stay in your space of the energy that you were created, because it can be such a beautiful, beautiful dance, and then when we're talking about the how women are, trying to hold that role of a male. It's like, I mean, it just is baffling to me, because it's so beautiful to be able to be in who you are and walk in that, that beauty of being, I think it's a gift to be able to be a woman, or a gift to be able to be a man. It's a gift. So,
now imagine this.
Old fashioned.
Imagine this. Now let's use the, you and I talked about it, the male and female, the feminine and masculine energies, right? Subconscious, conscious. Now imagine if the subconscious, which is female, and the conscious, which is male, tried to switch roles. And we know that the subconscious minds control all your bodily functions. You don't even think about it. Right. Your heart beats. It beats X amount of time per minute. Your lungs does what it does. It helps you breathe. I mean, everything has a function, and it's all operated by the subconscious mind. We don't have to think about it, And now, just imagine if the male says, I want to be you now. The conscious is going to take over the subconscious job. Now imagine you go to sleep, but your conscious is supposed to keep your heart beating. when subconsciously it just beats on its own, so we think, you would die. You would die out eventually because we're taking over each other's roles, and we were not meant to do that. You know, we're fighting all these, oh, don't put me in a gender role, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But we need roles. There has to be boundaries for things, you know. And I'm not talking about man-made jobs a lot of times. No, I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about our natural roles of who we are towards one another. You know?
Absolutely.
And I think that's why everything is upside down right now.
It is. It is. And there's a order to the exchange of energy. And so when you talked about a little bit ago, when you talked about women sleeping with this one and that one or whatever, what we fail to realize, because we're not even thinking, we're not even, you know, giving ourselves that time. Like we talked about the meditation time.
I'm leaving that in you. Each man is leaving that in you.
There, exactly. And women don't get that. So they think it's just like with men. Men aren't getting that. Men aren't receiving that same, that in which they are giving.
We transmit and you receive, right?
There we go.
And so if I have a bad energy, you know, if I got a bad signal, you get my bad signal. You're gonna get that.
That's the part I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that exchange can be so powerful if when done in the right context, when you've done the work that it takes to get there. And that's where I think that's the key point of why things are so out of whack and so off kilter. And, you know, all of this is because people are doing things and they're doing things out of the natural order of things. And when you go against the natural order of things, then you have chaos and confusion. And like, well, why? I mean, honestly, it's like, it's just crazy to me. And it's like everybody is speeding towards what?
That's a good question.
It's like instant, everything instant. And we all know.
Instant gratification. I need it. But
it's just there. That instant gratification is just in that moment. It's just in that instant moment. But if you take the time to go through that dance, then that means that you can create that moment over and you can go higher. The more that you connect with someone, you can go deeper, you can go higher, and then you can just have that ultimate, you know, I mean, this is an adult show, right? This segment, you can have that. I mean, I think it's a powerful, it's a powerful connection that you can have with someone when you are on the same page with them and you start out the right way and you build a foundation, not a foundation off of all this masquerade crap. Not off of all of this instant, or I'm trying to empty your pockets. Stuff. Look, we trying to empty somebody's pockets for material stuff that's going to deteriorate and it's going to depreciate and lose its value. But if you build something with somebody that's so strong and so energetic and so powerful that, I mean, it's like knee shaking. If you build that with somebody, think about how high and how far you both can go together. I mean, it can be so amazing that you can't even explain it. So, I mean, to me, I'd give that up for instant any day.
And when you listen to couples that's been together forever, it's never about money. It's never about material stuff. Because, see, the thing is, when you care for somebody, you're not going to let them suffer or struggle, right? When they care for you, they're not going to let you suffer or struggle. And then it starts out first by caring about yourself. See, when you care about yourself, you won't let yourself struggle or suffer. So you're taking that mentality into a relationship about, I'm not living less than. That's not what it's all about. But it's not just about the material side of less than or greater than. What it's about is me taking care of myself mentally. You know, I get that soul food, you know, for myself, you know. I'm not talking about the oxtails and all of the food that we think is good. I'm talking about that soul food that feeds our spirit, that feeds our mind. And when we're feeding edifying ourselves with something like that good soul food, it's you can go out and treat, you know, your partner the same way as you treat yourself. Because if I love me, I'm gonna love you, because in me, I can't have hatred, and love and hate can't occupy the same space at the same time, because once you try to attempt that, that's when you get the inner turmoil.
Absolutely.
That's a struggle. Absolutely. That's that struggle. That's a fight on the inside. So if I say I love me, I'm going to automatically love you. Doesn't mean I'm going to always agree with you. And it doesn't even mean I like you.
Absolutely.
But when I have love in me, hey, I'm gonna want the best for you if it's not hurting somebody else to get it. But in a relationship, when we come to each other and say, hey, I got your back, you got my back, we ain't worried about money. Money is the result of what we do together.
Yeah, it's the wet that comes with the water.
That's it.
But see, it seems like it's so, you know what? But the thing of it is that it's simple. People just don't think. They've gotten away from thinking.
Thinking and feeling.
Totally. Man, this is good stuff. We didn't went deep on them today.
If we be together, right? If like you know, I keep coming up with the be do have paradigm, right?
Okay.
And if when you look at it in relationships terms, right? So we get together. We're gonna be together, right? So we're gonna be together. Hey, we just decided, hey, you know, we're gonna do this thing together. Boo, 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 boo. Then comes due. So we done decided that we're gonna make this exclusive. We're gonna be together. So we're gonna do what we're gonna do. We're gonna do things together that help us prosper, right? So we're doing things together to prosper. And not solely just financially, because once we're doing things together and we're on each other's team, man, the flower's gonna grow in our yard, right? You know what I'm saying? Because everything is, our energy is going to feed everything around us. That's the prosperity that I'm concerned with. When you have that positive energy and you build that mastermind with that individual that you're with, when everybody else comes around you, you know, your energy is either going to do one or two things. It's going to either attract them or push them away. Because you're not going to allow any negative energy in y'all space to destroy what y'all have if you're smart. So when you're doing the being together, doing the things together, you're going to have everything that you truly wanted in life. You're going to have peace, love, harmony, unity, the whole 9 yards. It's all yours. And yes, you'll have some money too. You'll have all those things.
Hope everybody got their pens out. I'm on my second page of notes here. This is good stuff, y'all. This is good.
So that's what I'm saying. Stop worrying about what a person have right now, as long as they got ambition, a drive to move forward, and this and that and the other. I'm not saying go out there and get somebody and who has no drive or who doesn't want anything in life. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is stop overlooking this dude or this woman because they don't have 6 digits. Like the one young lady says, if a man is not making more than me, he's not a man. Well, by that very definition, you're wrong, sister, because he was born biologically a boy and he grew into be a man. Okay, now, what type of man is he? We don't know because you don't want to give him a chance because he don't make more money than you.
This is good stuff. This is good stuff, man.
And then a lot of times the women that's worried about being a come up for a man are the women that's usually finesse men to get where they are. So now they don't want to be done the way that they've done men to get to the position that they're in. People don't want that. People don't want that to come back to them. You know what I'm saying? That boomerang effect. But we all got to remember, the pendulum of the universal clock swings 20 steps left and it'll swing 20 steps right. It's always on time, and you're going to pay your karmic debt no matter what.
Pay your karmic debt. Okay, wow. I think this episode should have been called finessing. Hilarious things people say about dating. Go ahead.
Now, then the next one we should because we can roll directly into, finessing into this right here. Okay. When you're allocating your attention across multiple men, none of them can have the audacity to be comfortable that they have you, right? They know you have options, and if they want you, they will either have to step up or step out, right? Now, the majority of brothers that I kicked it to and let them see this on, they was like, adios, I'm out, I'm ghost, I'm gone. I'm not competing for a woman.
Yeah, I think a man of caliber and of character wouldn't. I mean, that one right there, I had to think real hard about that one because it started hurting my brain. That was a whole lot of what we say, mystery clues and scavenger hunts. That's that game. I mean, that's that game. It's like, Go ahead.
Now, did you see the video with the young lady explaining alpha males and beta males?
I did see it. I wanted to go back to this. I just briefly. Go ahead.
Now, beta males will compete for her.
That's good. Okay. That's so good. That is so good.
But then a beta will.
Then she's usually she's more usually attracted to the alpha male.
But she wants the alpha. So what she wants to do is take a beta male. She would love to take an alpha male and scope them into what a beta male is. But once you do that, if you are allowed to do that, he's no longer an alpha. He's a beta. And like we said, beta males aren't bad. They're not gay. They're not weak. They're not punks. It's just that they'll take certain things that an alpha male won't. Like, for instance, we all know women talk junk. Okay. I'm used to that. I'm not going to get mad because, my lady is upset. Okay. But it comes a time where you just got to be like, yo, chill now. Stop. I don't mind you getting upset. We talk about it in the house. But when we get out in public, we ain't doing this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't try to check me in public. Don't try to do all this stuff. Hey, yo, because I'm going to ice it. I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to do it like my dad told me to do. Hey, yo, wrong answer. What you can do is pull me to the side. There's ways we do things, right? A beta male is going to actually take that. He's going to listen to it.
Okay.
Or a beta male might haul off and hit you. Because see, when you got a man that you don't respect, you're going to do a lot of stuff to him. And you might push his buttons to where he reacts now physically.
Right.
You're not going to push an alpha male's buttons. Because before you push the button, you're just going to open the door to let me out and I'm gone.
Right.
So because I don't have to put up with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we don't have to put up with your nonsense. Okay, bye. As a matter of fact, we may not even get together in the first place.
Right.
So that when you're telling women, hey, get multiple men. So now as you're dating multiple men, you're spreading yourself thin. It's like, okay, because now you're dating multiple men. You got children. Okay, just say you got children. Your children need your time. Oh, you got a job. You're an entrepreneur. You're going to school. You're being superwoman. You're doing all these things. And then, oh, by the way, I'm dating John Tuesday. I got Paul on Wednesday. And then all these dates. Now you're burnt out.
Yeah, and your potency in the relationships is not there. You're not like you said, you're burned out, but you can't give that person all of you, and then on the other hand, like we said, with
you can't be attentive to that person.
They can't be attentive to you because there's so many, other things that other folks, other spirits, other energy. Now you're bringing all that energy to that person.
And to be totally honest with you, the men that stay around and try to compete for you, like we said earlier, you're not gonna like them. That's not who you want. Right. Because you're not even gonna look at him as a strong man. Because he competed for me, it's like, no, it's not like back in the day where knights competed for a woman and they killed each other. No. Yeah, it's like, I couldn't live in those times anyway. Like, draw your sword. No, homie, I'm not fighting over a woman. You can go ahead and keep her, Guinevere down the block, she ain't got nobody, man. I'm gonna go kick it with her, man. Cause, you can have this one, you can. You got her. You got it, homie. I ain't even gonna look at her no more, man. Her little corset too tight anyway. I'm going out.
How do you feel meaningful relationships like that? Because you got all them spirits. You got all them spirits that he been dealing with too. Because if you got all these multiple rosters and he got multiple rosters, that's like it's like a silent orgy going on or something.
Y'all in one of those polyamorous relationships and you don't even know it.
Don't even know it.
You're in a spiritual polyamorous relationship.
Ooh, see? Then we wonder why so much craziness and chaos going on. All right, hey. So that's the multiple one. We got a couple more we need to talk about. What about you can't help who you love?
Oh yeah, when we talk about love as if it's some virus you catch, like it's COVID-19 or something like that, you know. These people, you know, a woman told me, she says, you can't help who you love. You know, you fall in love with who you fall in love with. I said, so then is that the excuse a pedophile can use then?
Ooh, that was deep.
No, no, no. And I said, no, they said they love these children. They love them. I don't condone that at all, you know, because I don't want anybody to say, oh, you condone. No, I don't condone it at all. I think they're sick and I think they should be dealt with in a very harsh manner. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you're giving them that excuse because you said you can't help who you love. Love is not, it don't work like that. It doesn't fall in categories. Well, these people can't help who they love, but these people right here, they're just sick. No. You have to entertain people to find out if you love them or not. You know, you have to spend time with them because what you start out with is lust. That's what you start out with. You don't ever start out loving somebody. You start out with liking, lusting, then hopefully you grow to love. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, damn, she looked good. Okay. I don't know if I love her or not, you know, because hey, I know I don't like smoking, smoking or a woman that drinks all the time. Okay. I don't know her yet. I don't know what she does. As soon as she whips out a cigarette, I'll be like, well, wait a minute. The cigarettes, cigarettes and stuff like that, you know, it's like, man, it's like, is that lipstick or is that you burnt your lips up? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because a lot of these women smoke more weed than dudes do, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And especially nowadays with all the changes and everything, and then folks sometimes won't even tell you that that's what they do. You smell it on them. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about folks lying. They say they don't. And they are like that whole, like they walk around with a puffball around them because,
call her Sister Smokestack. That's what she is. She's Sister Smokestack. You know, she just come through, lips black. You know, it was like, man, she was cute until I saw her lips burnt up. And they kind of crusty too. Like,
So it's not it's what you say, like lust and love, or did I get that wrong? Or
no, that's it. You know, you start out liking somebody, you're attracted to them, you like them a little bit, and then, you start lusting after them because now when you like somebody, that's going to lead you to going over to talk to them, or like or attracted to, and then you looking at them like, man, she's strapped up, or you looking at him like, oh man, I like the way he's shaped, I like the way he's built, this and that and the other. You're lusting. That's all it is. That's lust. That ain't love. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you love somebody, you would do anything for them, within your power. I don't see us doing anything within our power for somebody that we just met.
That's good.
You know what I mean? So, and then when you love somebody, love is a big deal. Love is not just this what I'll do for you. Love is me not enabling you to live subpar. Love is me not being, the ATM machine for your habit. Love won't allow me to let you destroy yourself.
See, and I was going to not bring this one up, but I can't help it because it's all in the news and it's current events or whatever. This whole fight with Wendy Williams and her remarks about Tabitha Brown. It got me because I thought the first thing that came to my mind when I heard about it was the caliber and quality. I'm sorry, and I'm not judging, but it's like the caliber and quality of the relationships they had or they have, because she still have hers. The whole thing, like they both played out, in the media and everything. So you're able to see what we see or what have you. But according to the information that's out there, 2 different types of women, 2 different types of men, and definitely 2 different types of relationships. So there's no way. So when we talk about that, like you said, loving somebody, it takes that time to do that. And if you think about the whole thing about how, Wendy Williams, according to her story, and how her husband got together, if she said he was cheating from the beginning and she knew it from the beginning, you accepted that throughout this whole relationship. So again, that tells you, some brokenness or something inside of you that said, okay, it's okay for me to be faithful to my partner, but not for them to be. That's your what have you. Over here on the other side, you have, the Tabitha and her husband, there was no, according to what we know, there was none of that. So how can you even compare the two? Look who we have. We have a guest.
Hey, go with your mama.
We have a guest.
I'll talk to you in 1 minute, okay?
What's that?
That's me. I'll talk to you in 1 minute.
That's so cute. That's so cute. We have another perspective. Another point of view. Come on in.
Like, what do you think about relationships?
Exactly. Out of the mouths of babes. Shoot, sometimes they know better. Like, why y'all being crazy? That don't make no sense. What was that green piece of paper? I like you, you like me. All right, fine.
Right. Yes, no, or maybe.
Right.
No, but the Tabitha Brown thing, the one thing that stuck out for me with Tabitha Brown is she said some things that a lot of women speak against. And that's, I remember the reverse of what she said was what a woman said her husband sacrificed, did all these things for her, sent her to school. She became an attorney. He was a truck driver or something. She says, I outgrew him. I mean, he's not good enough anymore. I'm a partner, in the law firm. He's just a truck driver, but his truck driver money was good enough to get you where you are, But then when you look at a Tabitha Brown, then you say, whoa, hold on. She said, what? She said, my man sacrificed for her to get where she is. Baby, I appreciate you. So now what is it that you want to do? Come on out of that. You put your life on the line. You at any moment I could have been a widow and you were doing it for me. See? So now what you want to do? And then I've heard some women say, that's stupid. I'm like, that's why y'all single. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because she just shows you what love is. That's support.
That's called real love. That's loving somebody for real. I mean, what does gender have to do with how much you love or how you show love to one another? What does gender have to do with it? I think people have it so backward. And it's also the brokenness that you have inside of you, the brokenness, the bitterness. That's why we always talk about go do your work. Because the brokenness and bitterness inside of you will cause you not to want the best for somebody that you say that you love. If you are coming up, I don't care who's coming up first. If you say that you love that person, then you want that person to be good. And also one thing that I thought was just amazing is that even when you truly love someone, and I say this, I experienced this through my mom and my father, my mom and my dad. He loved her so much that when he knew he was going through and he was getting ill and things were happening, he said, I want you to go and find somebody and be with that person. Just don't tell me. He said, because I want you to be taken care of. I'm going to be gone before you. And he knew that he had spoiled her. He had did everything for her. And so he just didn't want her to be alone. I get why she said, she's like, no, I'm not doing that. You're not going anywhere. But that just touched my heart. And it taught me such a lesson about unconditional love and about sacrificing for somebody that you truly love. And I think they got that right. She was like, no, I'm not doing that. And, even when he was gone, she still was like, I can't. I don't want to. She just didn't want to. She felt like she had the love of her life. She lived the life with him, and she didn't want anybody else after that.
And and that's understandable. I mean, that's wow. That's deep because I know a lot of women are like, okay, he said it,
right. But that's what I'm saying, that people miss out on that. On the realness of it with all these games that they play with one another and all this, I'm trying to drag out everything that I can get out of you and not return it or not reciprocate it or all this other stuff. I think that's just it's out.
Well, two comments. Hopefully I remember the second one. When women commented on Tabitha Brown, some of the negative comments I heard, the one that stuck out was, I can't let any man sit around and do nothing. I'm like, The man put his life on the line with 15, 18 years on the police force. He put his life on the line in one of the worst communities in the country. He's going to have a pension. It's not like he won't have any money coming in, but that ain't even Tabitha Brown's concern.
Absolutely.
Her concern was like, look, I'm going to repay you for you showing me the ultimate love. You sacrificed for me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so obviously in her eyes, that's a big deal for her. Absolutely. You know, because for some women feel entitled. He should have done this. He needed to take care of me. But she looked at it as, man, that's my knight in shining armor. What do you mean I won't let a man sit around? Who said he's sitting around? Absolutely. You know, you're assuming that he's a lazy guy. How can he be lazy when he put his life on the line for 15, 18 years on the police department, right?
Absolutely.
Those are the things I don't understand. It's like, you know, it's like so much negativity is thrown at relationships, especially by people that chose to be with individuals that couldn't reciprocate whatever they gave. That's who y'all chose. And see, and when we talk about reciprocation, most people talk about the financial and the material side of it. Mm-hmm. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Who cares about finances and material stuff when an individual is not returning the love back to you? You know, how many women say that they walk in front of their man with some negligee on and looking good, and he's just like, move, watch TV. But he paying bills though. But move, get out of my way. Absolutely. Or absolutely. Honey, can I get a kiss? Come on, not right now. I'm watching the game. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's not. It's the spiritual connection. It's the mental connection. It's all of those things that people feel are intangible that they miss, because I mean, it's just I go back to the fact that people are not really thinking. They're just doing. They're not thinking. Yep. They're just doing. And a lot of times, folks, they're just operating out of their broken space. They're operating out of their brokenness. They're operating out of, you know, bad advice that people have given them.
Bad advice from people that don't know what they're doing.
Right, no result. I mean, look at the results that they've gotten. Are you really going to let somebody mentor you that haven't gotten where you want to go, or haven't gotten the desired result that you were looking for, but you're still listening? You know, so I think those are the things that, you know, I think that's how they miss it. I just thought that was beautiful what she did for him. And, you know, I mean, I just thought that was absolutely incredible.
And you know what? Even if, and this is just my way of thinking, mm-hmm. Even if a relationship does not work out, the individual that you leave from, or that y'all decide to split ways, they should never feel like you drained them. They should be left as if you had filled them up. Just because, you know, it doesn't work, it don't mean I didn't teach you anything. I tell every woman, hey, get you a man that can teach you something. Not just teach you anything, teach you how to survive off something, whether it's learning how to do credit, invest, build something, whatever. Get you a man that can teach you something. Brothers, get you a woman that can teach you something. Absolutely. You know, because see, once y'all become each other's teacher and each other's student, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. See, now we're on the same level, you know, level field, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I ain't saying we're equal. We're just on the same level. So we're balancing each other off, because at some point you become the teacher and I'm the student, and then guess what? It switches around. We don't care how much money each other's making. It's what we're doing for one another. We're teaching each other. We're learning from one another, and we're paying attention to one another. And when we speak,
absolutely,
see, that's the thing.
Absolutely, and actually that keeps the relationship new. It keeps the relationship, you know, exciting. You know, you're bringing something to each other. You know, that brings a positive energy. So now you're not dreading, or I was going to say begrudging coming home, or begrudging, you know, it's an excitement, and and people don't understand how energy, when you're around negative energy, or you're around, like what you just said, you know, get out from in front of me, or whatever, or you just arm candy or whatever, that negative energy drains you. So you're no longer excited and able to, operate on all cylinders, your brain popping, and you're, like, what can I do next? How can I make her or her smile even brighter? Or how can I, help, because we all go out and face all of these challenges of everyday life and everything else. But how can I make his world better or her world better?
Right.
And again, that's what I saw with the Tabitha Brown, with her and her husband. I just thought that was so beautiful. But then when you have somebody, that's bitter, of course they're going to spew, negativity on your, on your parade or on your sunshine,
You know
so.
what? You asked the question just a second ago, how can I make this person's world better in the whole 9 yards?
Mm-hmm.
The way you can make another individual's world better is by making yours better, right? By being as healthy as you can be. Because I know when a person loves you, if you get sick, they're gonna take care of you. If they truly love you, right? But if we can help it, why not cut back on the drinking, the fatty foods, and the things that will speed up an illness or whatever? Why not take care of ourselves to the point? Because, hey, my thing is, hey, in my mind, it's like, hey, when I get married, I want to be married for a while. I want to be that old man, like walking down, like still opening the door and stuff. Be like, wait a minute, baby, I got you. Don't worry about it. I'm slow, but I ain't weak. I got it. I can still knock one of these young boys out if I got to. So you go there, you open the door. You're like, come on, yeah, you're still looking good, even though your stocking sagging. It's still looking good though. Come on
no
over here.
No more. She better not be wearing no stockings.
Come on, no. So they said, come on over here. And fix your wig. Push it that way a little bit. Come on, I still love you though. Get on in there. Get on. There you go. There you go.
I'm not messing with you today. I am messing with you today.
You know what I said? You want to be that old couple, man, that's still vibrant though. That still see each other like y'all 25 years old, and that look. We gonna argue. We know that.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Too many people go into relationships as if they're going to be perfect, and nothing's going to ever happen. That's those expectations, right?
Unrealistic.
You go in there. We're supposed to be each other's best friend. Some days y'all ain't gonna be friends. Some days it's just gonna be like, you know what, man, just get on, man. I don't even want to talk to you right now.
Right.
But then when you love one another, then that's when you start to self-reflect. Like, okay, what did I do that made this situation? That's when you really love somebody. When you start looking at the things you may have done, not instead of just you.
Right.
Right. And that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with a lot of our relationships. We get in these relationships, we build these things on faulty foundations that's going to falter and fall later on. Soon as that storm hit, one storm is going to knock it all over, because we put instead of building it on a cement foundation, we wanted to be cute and put it on stilts, right? By the ocean.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now when this tide comes in, it does knock one leg off, and now we falling down. Like, what happened? Well, we built it off a flimsy foundation. That's what we did. That's what we did. And so,
well, absolutely. I think we have more fuel in this topic than we even imagined. But so maybe we'll do a part 2, because I think we can keep going with this and add a couple more bullet points to it. But I just wanted to add this one point. When you said that about, man, kind of slipped out of my head, because I was thinking about, I had a visual of my mother and father. So the last visual that I have of them together, and he had went into full dementia, was that he remembered my mother. He forgot everybody else, but he remembered my mother. And I remember walking into their apartment, and he was on all fours and she was on his back, and he was giving her a horseback ride. And it was just, they were so playful, and they like kept each other energized, and they, that's what I saw through their whole marriage. I saw three blowout fights, and then they woke up the next morning laughing about them, so it was like just 3 fights, and they 40 some odd years of being together or what have you. So,
wow.
I just thought that was so amazing to watch. And I think that's been one of my, my issues is looking for that or thinking that that's possible, which I do believe that that's possible, but, with all of this masquerade dance and scavenger hunts and games and stuff that folks play, you just don't know, you just don't know. But just knowing that that's possible and being able to see that, that's, been, I guess something that I was like, okay, it's possible. People say, oh, you crazy, that don't happen, that don't exist, but I just choose not to believe it. So what are your parting words for today, sir?
Parting words. The one thing I wish we would have talked on is about the colorblind, love being or isn't colorblind.
Okay.
And just really quickly, love is not colorblind.
Okay.
It's not colorblind.
Yeah.
Because see, love sees everything, because when you describe a person, what do? You describe what they look like. Like, ooh, I love that chocolate skin you got, that that caramel coated vixen that she is. I love the look of you. I love your eyes. The color of the eyes, the size of their lips, the nose, and everything else. But then you're going to tell me that love doesn't see the color of this person. But it sees the height. It sees her weight. It sees everything. It even sees how much money you make, the career that you have. But it doesn't see color. It does. Because if you tell me love is colorblind, that means you don't see me. Because I am this. I didn't choose to be this. I am this.
Right.
This is me. I'm a melanated individual. I love who I am. So, when I hear, these quotes, these one-liners, these social media philosophers come with these, and everybody, yes. No, it's stupid. Love is not colorblind. Love knows exactly what it is. Love knows what it sees. Just say, because if love is colorblind, then that means you don't have a preference. And then that means love comes in and then you'll fall in love with whoever, no matter if they're tall, fat, whatever. And we all know that people have preferences.
Absolutely.
So that's all I'm saying.
No, I think that was I can't even wrap up no better than that. That was great. I mean, and it was true. So wow. Very true. Very true. And I like the thing, I think like what you just emphasized about people do have preferences. So there can't be no blindness in it if you have preferences.
If you have a preference. And it's okay. You know what? Hey, I'm pro-Black. I hang that, I wear that hat proudly because I love my folk,
Right.
A white lady asked me one time, she's like, so a white woman couldn't fill the space of a Black woman for you. And I said, you know what? I said, if I was trying to create a blended family, she could. Mm-hmm. But if I want to create a Black family, she can't. Right. It's going to take another Black woman to create Black kids. This is my thinking. What you do or what anybody else does, that's your prerogative. But for me, for a Black family, I need a Black woman to raise Black children. I need somebody when I come home, I want you to understand what I go through. You can, white people they can empathize with you, because, they got feelings, but you can't relate to what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? That sister, she going to relate to what I'm going through,
exactly.
And that's the thing. I think our community is missing that thing. We used to relate to one another. We used to we used to empathize. We used to have sympathy. We used to relate. We used to have that love. We used to pull one another like it's going to be okay. Because I got you, you got me.
Absolutely.
But now we make a lot of money now. So we like, hey, it's all about money now. Yeah. And we traded things for structure, discipline, love, and those things that used to make the Black community what they were.
You know what? Well, hopefully our, podcast one at a time will get people to start to think and to get people to, rethink some of the I don't even know, maybe some of their choices, or just to get them to think. How about we start there?
Yeah, just think, just open, we can open your mind up to just possibilities. I'm not saying I'm not saying that, hey, there's not any attractive Asians. It ain't about that. It's what I'm saying is, Black love doesn't mean hatred for everybody else. It just means I'm proud of who I am. Because if you ask an Italian what they are, they're going to tell you I'm Italian. If you ask an Albanian, they're proud. They stand on that. Why do I got to be ashamed to say that I'm Black? And I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And one last thing. We keep saying that race is a social construct, man-made. There's no such thing as black and white, right? But if we're going to talk about my ethnicity and my so-called race being a social construct, then what is your nationality then? Because if another country invaded America and took us over and changed the name, you wouldn't be American anymore. You would be whatever they said the name of the country is now. I can't change my color, but I can change my nationality. I can change, I can go to another country and say, oh, I spend a certain time on French. Oh, now I'm French, You know what I'm saying? But I can't change this. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, it's a totally different, unique experience. It's a different fight.
Oh yeah.
It is. Talk about your t-shirts. Let's take a couple minutes to promote your brand. I seen some of your work. Some of your work. I was like, all right, now you're getting out there.
Yeah, it's the Black Love Gang. Black Love Gang. This is just one of them. And then Black Love Gang is just basically, it's about us coming together as a community. You know what I'm saying? It's about us, B3FP2, right? B3FP2. Black first, Black pride, Black power. And what that means is, hey, first thing anybody sees is that I'm Black. This is me. I see you. I see you for who you are. That's why I say love is not colorblind. So you're Black. Hey, we're Black. I love you and I respect you. I should be able to walk in any hood around the world that's Black and feel safe because I'm Black.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you see Black first. I'm not coming through as an enemy. When I see my brother, I don't see an enemy in my brother. I've grown up through the years. And, whereas back in the day, we used to walk around mean mugging. I don't walk around mean mugging my homies anymore. Guess what? We're homies and we don't even know it. Put it that way. You're not my enemy. So when I say Black pride, it's pride in my community, pride in the things that you do, things that I do. I'm proud of my community. I'm proud of all the people in my community that abide by the law, that do the right things to get what they get. I'm proud of these people. And when I say Black power is when we empower each other by supporting one another. We may not be able to buy each other products, but man, we can push it. We can say, hey, look, hey, such and such do this and that and the other. So if we stood by, if we B3FP2 equals unity. That's my equation for unity. Just like Einstein had the theory of relativity, E equals MC squared. Well, unity equals B3FP2. Black first, Black pride, Black power. And no, it does not mean I hate anybody else. It just means that I get to stand up and say that I'm proud to be who I am, just like everybody else can say they're proud to be who they are.
That's an awesome message. Thank you for that. And I support it. I can't wait till you start doing the work with the young men and everything. And,
oh yeah.
We can spread the word and spread the love in that way as well. So, well, all right. I thank you so much for everything that you bring our podcast and for your support.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you as well. And until next time, make sure you all like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with someone else. Stay fearless. Bye for now.